Big nigga on the trigger. Rats Troper here, aka Anonymous, aka Fuck Brains, aka Satin Lover, Hellbound, Shitty Dick, Loose Grippers. Here to bring you some game today. I want to talk about the game of life. Okay? I want to teach people how they can win, how they could, you know, get a upper hand in this game we call life. It's some things that you need to know and must know to succeed in this game of life that we call life. It's rules, laws, rules, and regulations that we must abide by if we want to win. We want to be winners. We must abide by this shit that I'm about to put out here on these airways. The game. Or, if you're not using these bylaws, rules, and guidelines, then 9 times out of 10, you losing out here. Okay. So I want to just put these stipulations out there with the game, about the game. Okay, the game that most people consider life you know a game. Life is a game. Okay, but they consider it like a battle, like the war, the call it mind wars. Wars of the mind. Everything you going through and everything that a person personally experience is within his or her own mind. So no one can hold you back but you. This what's going on in your head that's going to ultimately um decide the outcome of what you are going to receive and what you are going to experience. Okay, no one experience what you can experience. But you can listen to what people say, like the game that I'm about to give, and you got to accept it and visualize it in your head. But once you get it and you get it visualized in your head, now you're gonna have a war going inside of your head of goodness and of evil. Okay, wars of the mind. If you want to do the wrong thing or the right thing. Okay, it's all a part of the game of life. It's all on you. The war in your mind. Can you win the war in your mind? That's the game that I'm talking about. The war in your mind. Okay, and this war, okay, however, which it cannot be won successfully without the knowledge of spiritual law. And the Old and the New Testaments give the rules of the wars of the mind with wonderful clearness. We can call it the game, or I'm going to call it the war of the minds. Okay. And so, it's, you can find this in the Old and New Testament, the rules of the game called the War of the Minds. Okay. Jesus taught that it was a great game of giving and receiving, because that's basically what happens in life. You give, okay, and by giving to someone, they receive. Okay, and someone can give to you and you can receive. It's an exchange. So when you be exchanging, you can exchange your thoughts, you can exchange your energy. Okay. You can exchange your disposition to someone out there. You can exchange conversation. It could come across as positive or negative. And each of these, positive and negative, has its own um retort, has its own consequences. A good one or a bad one. They have different outcomes. It's what you want. It's what you are possessing. It's what you're putting out. It's what it's what your disposition is in life, what your energy level is, how you feeling inside of the, and how are you uh um accepting and dealing with the war in your mind. Is the negative aspect of the war winning inside your head, or the positive force winning inside of your head? What are you putting out? Okay. So if a person gives criticism, that's what they gonna receive, criticism. If you talk about somebody and you talk about them in a negative way, you talk about their negative attributes, you talk about what they done wrong, and how they could have done it this way and how they could have did it that way. That's criticism. You criticizing someone, and so you're gonna get a negative, you're gonna get a negative vibe back from that. You're gonna get a negative energy back from that. The person gonna look at you like, man, what, why you putting me down? Why you talking bad against me? They might not say it to you, but they gonna be thinking that. And so the vibe is gonna be within them towards you, like, man, this guy's criticizing me. So within his head, he's going with the negative aspect of the war. Within his head, he's thinking negative about you. So that's the way the person is, he or she is going to act towards you. Within the war in their head, they gonna choose the negative aspect when it comes to you, because you is criticizing them. When on the other hand, um if you give them a good, you say something good about them, you know it's going to make you feel good, and it's going to make them feel good towards you. So y'all going to have a good energy there. It's what you putting out in the war of the minds, in this game of life. Okay. And if the person lies, if the person is a liar, the person will be lied to. This is the rules of the game of life. Okay, so if you tell somebody a lie, if you lie to them, deceiving them, tricking them, uh, performing sorcery of them, because that's what lying and deceiving is. It's a form of sorcery. It's a form of magic. You telling a person something that's not true. So you're making them believe something that's not true, which is magic. Lying is the most effective form of magic, of sorcery. This tongue we have here. You could tell somebody something, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna meet you at the bank, and I'm gonna give you $10,000. And then you tell a person that, they're gonna be like, wow. And they thinking positive, and they accepting it, they believing it, they visualizing that. So they like, okay, well, but then when you don't do it, it's like sorcery. You have tricked them, you have performed magic on them, sorcery, because they imagined them having it and you doing it. They believed you. It's deep. It's heavy right there. That's a heavy form of magic right there. So if you lie to people, you will be lied to. That's the law of the game. What you put out, you're gonna receive. Going back to what Jesus taught. the giving and the receiving. You give that, so you're gonna receive that. So you gotta think within yourself, do I want to live like this as a liar? Because I'm gonna be lied to. What I put out is what I'm gonna get back. But we are truly blessed, powerful beings. We are in possession of a power that we have not really tapped into and really fully know how to control. We have a powerful thing called an imagination, that's going on within the war in our heads. We can, whatever we think, we can materialize it, whether positive or negative. We can manifest these things. We can externalize what's going on in our thoughts. And we do it and we do it naturally, subconsciously and consciously. Okay, and super consciously, but we're not fully knowing what's going on and fully capable of it. We're not really truly harnessing it because we don't truly understand this power of imagination. And that's all going on within the war in our minds of positivity and negativity. Because we always are thinking, and that's what the imagination is. We be thinking in our heads, and can't no one else see what's going on in our head. Can't no one else see what we see, what we imagine. And that's a powerful thing that each individual, each human being possess this power of imagination. I'm trying to harness mine, but I'm quite aware of it. What's good with me is that I'm aware of this, but I'm not quite sure of how to harness the power um to for it to happen exactly when, where, and how I want it to happen. Most we people, it happens to us um without our being in control of it, because that's the subconscious, how we subconsciously think something, and then and then it manifests, some a subconscious thought, and then we see it play out. We might say, oh, that wow, that was that was amazing. That was that was beautiful. Like, wow, I thought about that. Wow. But to truly understand this power that's going on within our head, the war of the mind, you know, and what reigns over that is our imagination, what we are thinking, what we visualizing from within ourselves. Woo. But let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about that. Here's a story about a man who feared, and this is subconscious. He feared a certain disease, and it was a very rare disease, and it was difficult to get. But he kept thinking about it and picturing it in his mind, imagining it, thinking about it continually, and he read about it and thought about it and read about it and fear and was scared of it and was fearful of it until it just manifests in his body. He came down with the very disease that he was thinking about, and it manifests in him, and it victimized him. He died of it from his own imagination. Now, he didn't bring that on through his own with the control. He didn't have harness that power because he wouldn't have wanted that for himself. He feared it, but he kept thinking negatively about it, and it overtook him. So that proves that he didn't harness that power. He had no control over it. It was his subconscious, and it just came about on him. Now, just think if we, you know, can manifest that power into great, something great that we want to do, something positive that we want to do and achieve and possess. And that will be an amazing thing to control and harness that power of imagination to make it manifest where, when, and how we want it to. We possess that. We are powerful beings that we are powerful beings, and we're not capable. I mean, we're capable, but we're not. We don't. We haven't come to understand who what the power we possess and how we can utilize it. Not all the way. You have magicians out there that use trickery and sorcery. They trick you, lie and deceive, and trick you into performing tricks, into making you think, playing tricks on your mind to make you think that what they are doing is real. And they put on a show, but it's not real. I'm doing something, but it's not real. So I'm talking about real power, real harnessing your real power of your imagination, of your inner being that's truthful. And I will do it in a positive mode, only to get what I want. That's what we want to do. I will get what I want, do what I want to do without harming anyone. I wouldn't want to harm no one. I would only use it to get to be all that I could be, to rise to the heights and the stature that I want, because that's what we do in life. That's how we lead our lives. We on a quest of getting what we want. We want to possess what we want. We want to be happy. We want to have money. You know, we want to what? We want to eat good food. We want to have nice cars, nice clothes, a big house. We want to be able to go on vacations. We want to have loved ones in our lives. We want to have a beautiful family, friends. You know, these the things we want, good things. We don't want bad things. Naturally, human beings don't want bad things. For someone who wants bad things, they are, I can't. They are just. That's the war in their head. Some people do want bad things, though. Because they have this. They're losing the war in their mind. See, I'm winning the war in my mind because I don't wish nothing on bad. I don't wish nothing bad on people. I don't want nothing bad to happen to people. I can't stand to see people suffering. That does not make me happy. It makes me sad inside. But I can't change what's in what another person's circumstance is. So I wouldn't harness my power in a negative way on any other person. Okay, but some people who could harness, who will learn, who if they know how to harness this power, they would be using it against people, as we see it being done today. You know, people are not don't know the full control of what they harness, but they are in their mind. You know, the war in their mind. They're leaning towards the negative power, the negative aspect, and what they putting out. Nine times out of 10 is coming back to them. Though it's gonna come back to them, whether it's physical. It could be physical. It could be mental, within their own head. They could be suffering from within their own head with knowing that they doing bad to people, and that they know can't nothing. but bad come from that once they know the law of the game. What you put out, what Jesus said, what you put out, you gonna get back. So I know these people who these big, powerful people who does things physically out here in the world, who's running the world and doing things evilly. They within their own mind, they you might not see them get hurt physically, but in their mind, you got to know that they suffering, that they being tortured. Because at the end of the day, we have no control over what's gonna happen to us. There are there are three departments of the mind, and these departments are the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and the superconscious mind. This is the world of mind. This is what's going on in our imagination. These are the three states right here: the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The subconscious is simply power without direction. You have no control of this. It's like it's like steam or electricity. You can't control it. And it does it does what it is directed to do. Okay? Whatever man feels deeply or imagines clearly is impressed upon his subconscious mind. So he thinks about it in its true form or how he wants it to be, how he thought it was to be, right? And he analyzes and thinks about it and goes through it, and then it sits back. Then he puts it, he he thinks about it and he evaluates it, but then, you know, it sits back in his subconscious mind. It sits back in the back of his head. Okay. And okay. And what happens is if you be feeling this, if it stays in your head, in the back of your head, and you keep feeling it and imagining it and imagining it, and this this these feelings are impressed upon you, then it's gonna manifest. It's gonna manifest. It's got to manifest because you keep thinking about it. It's in the back of your mind. That's the subconscious. That's the subconscious. Something that's in the back of your mind, which you keep thinking about it is there. That means you keep thinking about it. You keep imagining it, and then it boom, it manifests. Materializes. That's the subconscious mind. You keep thinking about something that's in the back of your head, then it just materializes. It happens, whether good or bad. That's the subconscious right there. Okay. And the conscious mind, it is what the human mind sees. It's your conscience. It's what you see. You see it as it appears to be. It is what it is. You see something. You see the car drive down the street, the red car, and that's what it is. You seeing it as it happens. This is the conscious mind. You might not even think about it no more, but whatever you was looking at and thinking about at that time, it's the conscious mind. You can go and come and go. It's not in your subconscious. It's just there. You see it then you moving on. Okay. That's the conscious mind. Everything just coming at you. This happening all the time. But you can let it go. You don't put it in your subconscious mind. Just some you see. And then you have, it's just a fleeting thought. Okay, that's the conscious. Whatever you seeing or doing at that time, you don't think too much about it. Then you be like, man, I ain't giving it much thought. I don't really care. That's when you don't care about something. It ain't in your subconscious. Then you have the superconscious mind, and that is the mind of spirit, a powerful spirituality within each man, and it's the realm of perfect ideas. In it, it's the perfect pattern. Okay, the divine design. For there is a divine design for each person. There is a place that you are to feel and no one else can feel. Something that you are to do which no one else can do. There is a perfect picture of this in the superconscious mind. It usually flashes across the conscious as an unattainable idea, but something good and true. And it's something that you must do and no one else can do but you. Divine design. The subconscious mind, the the spiritual aspect of man, the imagining power within the war of the mind, your own personal thoughts, your imagination of your super conscious and spiritual intelligence. Okay, is powerful. You could call it your and that's what I've been talking about, trying to harness that super conscious state within every human being. When your destiny, the the perfect picture of this of that's that consists of this superconscious mind. These thoughts, it usually flashes across, you know in our minds, um as an untainable idea, or a attainable or untainable idea. All depends on the war in your head, in your mind. Are you leaning towards the negative or the positive? It's how it will um curate within yourself. Okay. And it's in man, and it's his true destiny or his destination. Okay. It flashes to him from the infinite intelligence which is within all of us. Okay. Many people, however, are in ignorance of their true destinies and are striving for things and situations which do not belong to them. That's when they get off track. They stop thinking about themselves, and that's when they start thinking about other people, focusing on other people, start being jealous, and start showing hate, and having malice and lying to someone to try to get what they have. Okay. Leaving yourself and trying to enter into someone else, leaving your intelligence abandoned, and within your mind, within the war in your mind, and you focusing in on someone else's mind, which you can never do. You can never see what another person is thinking or feeling. They could manifest it within their energy, but you don't really know exactly what's going on within the war of their minds. But to abandon your intelligence, your infinite intelligence from within yourself, is to abandon your destiny. So we must think of ourselves, use our imagination, try to harness it, which I'm trying to do. I'm digging deep and I want to harness this power. I want to harness this power, harness this greatness of the super conscious and fulfill our destinies. Focus on yourself. Stay focused. Get focused within yourself, within the war of your mind, and try to harness that power, that intelligence, and fulfill your destiny and not concentrate and focus